Daniel Day-Lewis is widely considered one of the greatest actors of all time. Known for his unparalleled dedication to roles and his mysterious private life, he has built a career that blends art with a kind of personal mythology. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Unlike most celebrities, Day-Lewis doesn't live in the public eye, and that's part of what makes his lifestyle so fascinating. Today, let's explore how Daniel Day-Lewis lives, from his early beginnings, career choices, unique approach to acting, personal passions, and how he spends his life now away from Hollywood. Born on April 29, 1957, in Kensington, London, Daniel Michael Blake Day-Lewis grew up surrounded by creativity. His father, Cecil Day-Lewis, was the poet laureate of the United Kingdom, and his mother, Jill Balcone, was an actress. This upbringing gave him a deep appreciation for both literature and performance, but Daniel never pursued fame in the typical sense. Even from the start, he approached acting less like a career path and more like a form of craftsmanship, almost as if he were learning a trade. One of the defining aspects of Daniel Day-Lewis's lifestyle is his devotion to preparation. He is known as one of the most extreme method actors in history. For him, acting isn't simply playing a character, it's living as that character. When he portrayed Christy Brown in My Left Foot, he spent the entire production in a wheelchair, refusing to break character even between takes. Crew members had to feed him and help him move around. For Gangs of New York, he trained as a butcher and stayed in character as Bill the Butcher throughout filming, speaking in his character's accent even when the cameras weren't rolling. For The Last of the Mohicans, he lived off the land, learned to hunt, and carried his rifle everywhere, just as his character Nathaniel Hawkeye would have. This kind of immersion is exhausting, but it also explains why Daniel Day-Lewis is so selective with roles. Unlike many actors who work consistently, he often goes years between films. His lifestyle prioritizes depth over quantity. He has only starred in about a dozen major films across 4 decades, but almost all of them are regarded as masterpieces. This rare, almost reclusive approach to acting not only preserved his mystique but also gave him a personal life away from the chaos of Hollywood. Another part of Day-Lewis's lifestyle that stands out is his ability to walk away from acting for long stretches of time. In the late 1990s, at the height of his career, he suddenly retired and moved to Italy. There, he didn't chase the spotlight. He apprenticed as a shoemaker under the master craftsman Stefano Bemmer in Florence. For years, he worked quietly in the workshop, perfecting the skill of handmaking shoes. This choice says everything about his personality. Day-Lewis treats acting as a craft, and when he isn't acting, he turns his energy toward other crafts. His time as a shoemaker wasn't just an escape, it was a way to live a life grounded in work and artistry, far away from the film industry's pressures. In terms of his personal life, Daniel Day-Lewis values privacy above all else. He married Rebecca Miller, daughter of the famous playwright Arthur Miller, in 1996, and together they have 3 sons. Instead of living in Los Angeles, where many stars gather, Day-Lewis splits his time between Ireland and the United States. For years, he has lived quietly in the Irish countryside, embracing a slower pace of life, surrounded by nature. This rural lifestyle is a stark contrast to the glamorous Hollywood parties most actors frequent. Day-Lewis avoids interviews, rarely appears in public, and only surfaces when he feels compelled to take on a new role. One of the most fascinating aspects of his lifestyle is the way he views acting not as fame but as a form of spiritual or personal discovery. He once described his process as entering a different life, and that philosophy has shaped how he works and how he lives. Acting takes such an emotional toll on him that after completing a role, he often feels drained, as if he needs years to recover. This is partly why he announced his retirement in 2017 after completing Phantom Thread. For Day-Lewis, acting is not just a job, it is an all-consuming experience that requires immense energy, and he treats it as a sacred commitment. When it comes to wealth, Daniel Day-Lewis has earned enough to live comfortably. With 3 Academy Awards for Best Actor, numerous other accolades, and box office successes, his net worth is estimated in the tens of millions. Yet he doesn't flaunt wealth with extravagant homes, luxury cars, or celebrity parties. His money funds a private, understated life centered on family, creativity, and craftsmanship. It's this minimalistic and thoughtful approach that separates him from the typical Hollywood lifestyle. Beyond acting and shoemaking, Day-Lewis has a passion for craftsmanship in general. He has worked with woodworking, leather, and other hands-on skills that require patience and discipline. This aligns perfectly with his identity as an artist who values detail, dedication, and authenticity. Unlike actors who are constantly in the press, Day-Lewis finds fulfillment in quiet, purposeful work. His lifestyle also includes a strong connection to Ireland. He has lived there for decades and holds dual citizenship in the UK and Ireland. The Irish countryside gives him the solitude and grounding he craves. Villagers describe him as friendly and unassuming. someone who prefers being part of the community rather than standing above it as a celebrity. He enjoys long walks, the quiet rhythm of rural life, and time with family away from the eyes of paparazzi. Even in retirement, Day-Lewis's lifestyle remains a subject of fascination. Many wonder if he will ever return to acting. But his decision to step away reflects his lifelong pattern. He only acts when the role calls him, when it feels absolutely necessary. His retirement announcement emphasized that he no longer felt the pull to perform, suggesting he has chosen to devote his life entirely to family and personal passions. What makes Daniel Day-Lewis's lifestyle so compelling is that it challenges our ideas of celebrity. He proves that one can be at the very top of Hollywood while still rejecting its culture of constant exposure. He shows that success doesn't have to mean endless productivity, but rather careful selection, mastery, and balance. He embodies the idea that true art is about quality, not quantity. Looking at his legacy, Daniel Day-Lewis has left behind not only some of the greatest performances in film history but also an example of how to live as an artist. His life is about immersion, discipline, privacy, and authenticity. He's an actor who disappears into his roles, then disappears from public life, re-emerging only when he has something profound to offer. For fans, his lifestyle can seem mysterious, almost monk-like, but in reality, it is very human. It's about prioritizing meaning over spectacle, work over fame, family over publicity. Whether he is in front of the camera or quietly crafting shoes in a workshop, Daniel Day-Lewis lives life with the same intensity and artistry that defines his acting. In a world where celebrities often share every detail of their lives online, Daniel Day-Lewis reminds us of the power of silence, mystery, and focus. His lifestyle reflects the same qualities that make his performances so powerful: depth, authenticity, and complete dedication.